My wife and brother thought I was their personal ATM. I spent 8 months building a trap that financially and socially obliterated them. Part 1: The Golden Child and the Parasite. I am a senior software architect. I work grueling hours, but it bought us a custom-built home, luxury cars, and a dream lifestyle. My ex-wife, Sarah, enjoyed the perks while treating her marketing salary as her personal fun money. Then there's my older brother, Mark. He was the family's golden child, charismatic but financially incompetent. When he wanted to start a high-end real estate brokerage, I became his silent investor. I loaned him $150,000 interest-free and let him live rent-free in my downtown investment condo. Sarah and Mark were always close. When I traveled for work, he'd frequently drop by to check on her. I genuinely thought I was lucky to have such a supportive family. I was incredibly naive. Part 2: The Dashcam Revelation. The illusion shattered in November. I had hardwired a dual-lens 4K dashcam into Sarah's SUV after a minor hit-and-run. It automatically uploaded footage to my secure home server. One day, looking for a podcast, I clicked a random file from a Thursday afternoon when I was out of town. I didn't find my podcast. I heard the unmistakable sounds of my wife and my brother hooking up in the underground garage of the condo I owned. The physical betrayal was sickening, but the conversation afterward was pure evil. Sarah: God, I needed this. He's so suffocating with his stupid tech stories. Mark: let the little nerd work. He's paying for this condo and my business. We just reap the rewards, baby. Sarah: if it wasn't for his bank account, I would have left years ago. They viewed me as a pathetic, walking ATM. I didn't cry. The sorrow was instantly replaced by a cold, calculating rage. A standard divorce in my state would give Sarah 50% of my hard-earned millions. I didn't want a standard divorce. I wanted them to lose everything. Part 3: The Financial Shield. I consulted a ruthless divorce attorney. She confirmed Sarah was legally entitled to half my estate unless she signed a post-nuptial agreement. But no sane person signs that unless they are terrified of a worse financial alternative, so I manufactured a crisis. I started coming home late, pacing the floors and acting completely unhinged. I finally confessed to Sarah that I had secretly invested our savings into an offshore crypto startup that was now under federal investigation. I told her we were going to be sued, bankrupt, and homeless. Sarah panicked. Driven entirely by greed and self-preservation, she demanded to know how to protect her lifestyle. I played the self-sacrificing husband. I had a lawyer draft a post-nup. It legally separates our finances. You keep your income and your car, and I take 100% of the toxic business debt and the house so creditors can't touch you. She didn't even hire her own lawyer to read the fine print. She signed away her rights to my millions within 48 hours. The trap was set. Part 4: Starving the Leech. Next, I targeted Mark. His real estate business relied entirely on the illusion of wealth funded by my $150,000 loan. Our contract had a hidden call-in clause allowing me to demand full repayment within 60 days in the event of severe financial hardship. I invoked it, using the exact same fake bankruptcy story. When he screamed that his money was tied up, I coldly told him to liquidate his business. 3 days later, my lawyer served him a 30-day eviction notice for my condo. Mark's biggest vulnerability was his fiancée, Chloe, a brilliant pediatric surgeon from a wealthy, aristocratic family. Mark desperately needed her family's network to survive. I hired a private investigator who spent a month capturing crystal-clear 4K photos of Mark and Sarah sneaking into cheap motels. Part 5: The Anniversary Massacre. My parents hosted their 40th anniversary at an exclusive country club with 80 guests, including Chloe and her wealthy parents. I was tasked with presenting a family video slideshow. Mark was acting like the king of the room. Sarah played the loving wife. When dessert was served, I took the microphone. "We are here to celebrate loyalty," I announced, "because once trust is broken by the people closest to you, nothing is left but ashes." I hit play. The 120-inch projector didn't show old family photos. It displayed a massive, high-definition picture of Mark and Sarah aggressively making out. The next slide was their text messages. "Meet me at the motel. Hubby is so clueless." Then, the dashcam audio echoed through the venue's surround sound system. "Let the little nerd work. We just reap the rewards." Biblical chaos erupted. Chloe stood up, slapped Mark so hard it echoed, threw her $30,000 engagement ring directly at his chest, and walked out with her furious parents. My father pointed at the door and roared, "Get out of my sight. You are no longer my son." Sarah. I thought the game was over, but they were about to make their final, fatal mistake. I'll tell you how I sent them to prison in just a second. But first, if you're enjoying this revenge as much as I enjoyed planning it, show some support by subscribing. It helps me bring you more legendary stories like this. Update. 1 year later, my ex-wife and brother tried to team up and destroy my career in retaliation. It was the final, fatal mistake of their lives. You guys asked for an update, and honestly, I thought the story was completely over. I thought after the brutal humiliation at the anniversary party, the bankruptcy, and the divorce, Sarah and Mark would crawl into their respective holes and stay there. I underestimated their sheer arrogance and delusion. A few months ago, they decided that since their lives were ruined, they were going to ruin mine. Instead, they handed me the shovel to bury them for good. Here is how the absolute final chapter of this saga played out. Part 7. The Desperate Alliance. After Mark lost his real estate business and Sarah was fired from her PR agency, they both found themselves at absolute rock bottom. Misery loves company. So naturally, the two parasites gravitated back toward each other. They started living together in Mark's moldy, cramped studio apartment. Eventually, through mutual acquaintances, they found out about my new life. They learned that I hadn't gone bankrupt. They found out about my massive promotion to director of engineering, and they heard about the luxury downtown penthouse I had purchased. The realization that I had completely outsmarted them, that the crypto startup lawsuit was a fabricated ghost to get Sarah to sign the post-nuptial agreement, drove them absolutely insane. They felt entitled to my money. So, they hatched a plan to extort me. Part 8. Sarah's blackmail attempt. It started on a Tuesday morning. I received an email at my corporate work address from a sleazy, low-tier attorney representing Sarah. The email was a direct threat. Sarah was preparing to file a massive civil lawsuit against me. She claimed that I had subjected her to severe psychological abuse, financial coercion, and that I had illegally manipulated her into signing the post-nuptial agreement while she was under extreme mental distress. But the lawsuit wasn't the real weapon. The attorney stated that if I didn't agree to a private settlement of $500,000, Sarah would take her story to my company's HR department and the local media. She was going to frame me as a tech bro sociopath who emotionally tortured his wife and illegally spied on her. She wanted to destroy my career and my reputation, just like I destroyed hers. I read the email while sipping my morning espresso. I didn't panic. I actually smiled. What Sarah forgot is that I am a senior cybersecurity architect. My entire professional existence revolves around predicting threats, logging data, and building impenetrable defenses. I forwarded her attorney's email to my ruthless corporate lawyer. Within 24 hours, my lawyer sent a response package via certified mail. It didn't contain a settlement check. It contained a devastating counterattack. First, we included a legally binding psychological evaluation that Sarah had completed for her own life insurance policy just 3 days before signing the post-nup, declaring her in perfect mental health with no signs of distress. Second, we included the metadata and server logs from our home Wi-Fi during the week the post-nup was signed. It proved she spent hours researching how to protect personal assets from husband's bankruptcy. She wasn't coerced. She was actively trying to save her own skin. Finally, my lawyer informed them that attempting to use the threat of a PR scandal to obtain a $500,000 settlement meets the exact legal definition of felony extortion and blackmail in our state. We drafted a countersuit and a criminal complaint stating that if she contacted my HR department or filed a frivolous lawsuit, we would hand the extortion evidence directly to the district attorney. Sarah's sleazy lawyer dropped her as a client the very next morning. She was completely silenced. Part 9. Mark crosses the unforgivable line. With the legal extortion route completely blocked, Mark became frantic. He was drowning in debt from the $120,000 judgment I had won against him. His credit score was practically non-existent, and he was facing eviction from his cheap studio apartment. Desperation makes stupid people do incredibly reckless things. Because we are brothers, Mark knew a lot of my personal information. He knew my social security number, my mother's maiden name, and my previous addresses. He decided that if he couldn't legally sue me for my money, he was simply going to steal it. Mark attempted to take out a $30,000 personal loan online, using my name, my social security number, and my impressive credit score. He routed the funds to a newly created, obscure online bank account. What the idiot didn't realize is that I have elite-tier, enterprise-level identity monitoring attached to all my credit profiles. The moment a hard inquiry hit my credit report for a personal loan, my phone lit up with emergency alerts. Most people would immediately call the bank, freeze. They didn't just lose, they never stood a chance. Checkmate. If this story gave you the satisfaction you were looking for, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for the next one. It's free and it keeps the karma flowing. Thanks for listening.